Welcome to Seltzer Squad, the podcast about staying sober in the city, with your hosts, Kate Sander and Jess Valentine.
Jess, what do people do if they want more Seltzer Squad?
Oh, well, it's pretty easy. All they have to do is become a Patreon.
Patreon? A patron? A Patronus?
A patron on our Patreon.
If you want to be a Princess FOMO, you'll get early access to our episodes every Wednesday instead of Friday. If you want to subscribe to our middle tier, Former Hot Mess, you will receive the bonus monthly audio episode and early access to episodes. And if you indeed are the slickest bitch around, you will get early access, monthly bonus episodes, and you will be able to see all of our episodes now in video format.
This is truly a labor of love, and we want to keep it going. So help support us at patreon.com/Seltzer Squad. Hey, Kate, what is the number one sober tool that we always recommend?
Therapy.
Therapy. And we have recently partnered with BetterHelp. Do you want to tell everyone what that's about?
So BetterHelp is an online mental health platform. Basically what it is, it's an app that you get access to therapists. So you take their short quiz, they match you with somebody in your area, and it's affordable private counseling for individuals and couples anytime, anywhere. You don't even have to leave your house. You don't even have to wear hard pants.
That is amazing.
And what are we giving our listeners?
10% off. Just go to betterhelp.com/Seltzer Squad.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Jess.
What's up?
So we were supposed to have an interview today and they canceled. So I was thinking I could interview you instead.
Okay.
As if they don't know enough about you, but I feel like we can,
Right.
There's always more. You're just a endless Pandora's box.
Let's do it.
All right.
This is very impromptu for anyone wondering.
Yeah, I just told you. I was like, and I'm going to interview you now.
And she has no questions.
I have
ready,
some.
So.
I have some questions. I always have questions.
Okay.
My job is soon going to be asking people questions.
That's true. And saying, let's explore that. Let's unpack this.
How do you feel about that?
How does that make you? Okay, well, what would this look like?
Yes. Okay. When have you been the most satisfied in your life?
Oh, I'm going to be honest. I feel like I'm never satisfied.
Oh, ouch. There's never been a time?
I'm sure there has been. Maybe like after Cam and I like got our place and like we're opening up the new studio, but then COVID happened and yeah, I guess I was satisfied then when we started dating, but then yes, I would say that when we like got a place and we're moving the studio and stuff, maybe when I started my own studio in general, it's hard to say. That's a problem of mine is that I'm never satisfied. I always need something to look forward to. Like I was saying, earlier in a different episode, like I always need something far away to look forward to.
I think that's bad. Like human though. Like we're always like looking,
Well,
and priorities change. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So it's hard. I'm definitely not content right now, but I feel like no one is. Everyone's like in a we're all traumatized from 2020. So yeah. Final answer,
I noticed like a lot of people feel a little bit like apathetic towards life because I feel like we just went through something like extremely serious and traumatic, and then like the world is trying to course correct and like reboot itself in the same way that it was before when we've like all been living completely differently for a year, and then it's like I
like,
obviously am speaking from like like a corporate experience where it's like none of us, we care about this shit, but like no one cares anymore. Like
no, I get it.
Everybody cares about different things.
Yeah.
Okay. If we were sitting here, which who knows we may be, a year from now, celebrating what a great year it's been for you in 2021, what do you think would be some of the things that you achieved? Because we're like 8 months in almost.
Oh, like.
So what have been some things that you achieved despite the dissatisfaction currently?
Building my business up,
You became TikTok famous.
I'm not TikTok famous. I have like 50,000 followers.
That's a lot.
They're dropping like flies. I'll tell you that much.
You need another hit. You need another hit.
I know. I do. I was at 51.7 and I'm at like 51.1. They're dropping like flies.
They're fair weather fans.
That's okay. I understand. I get it. My content's not exciting. Yeah, I just like got lucky a few times. Let's see. Yeah, I would just say that like my business has done really well. And I was able to save up money.
Yes. That's major. Your business is doing very well.
Yeah, I'm booked through April of next year.
Yeah, that's major.
That's so dumb.
That's like goals for tattoo artists or any like service professional. I feel like that works for themselves. It's like so nice to have that peace of mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a little like stressful because I'm a people pleaser. I hate having to like reschedule people or cancel people. No. Yeah. So it's like, well, what if something did come up? I have a wedding to go to next month in Idaho. So I'm taking the weekend to go to Idaho for this wedding and I had to move people. And I hate doing that. One girl's like, well, I can't really do those dates. So I'm going to have to cancel. And I feel so bad, Sure. But again, it's a good problem to have. I'd much rather be overbooked than underbooked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
that's a big
that
deal.
would be my celebration of 2021.
What about psychologically? What do you think that you have like rewind a year ago? So August 2020, you were probably just going back to work.
I think that I've been better at asserting myself as far as boundaries and stuff like that goes because I've been forced to because of my job. But also I feel like I've been working on my relationship and I feel like I'm trying to get better at listening / empathizing or like understanding where Cameron is coming from. Rather than just getting super defensive, which is like my normal reaction. I'm really trying to change the way I fight and stuff. So I feel like psychologically, I don't know if that counts. I feel like that counts. It's just, I'm really putting the work in, I guess. And also while at the same time being like, hey, this happened and I'm not okay with it. Or whatever, like vocalizing things that I'm also not okay with / that make me feel uncomfortable, that I won't tolerate, etc.
How do you think you fight differently besides listening?
I used to, like years ago,
I think I fight differently too.
Yeah. I mean, this just comes from therapy, I think. Like years of therapy, and I used to like scream and be irrational and like just wait to talk and curse, and I would say like the meanest things possible, and like I like stay more like calm now.
Me too. It's creepy kind of. I'm like creeped out by myself sometimes.
It also is just like I feel like, well, you're making yourself look stupid because you're screaming. Like you look stupid. So that's my main thing, is just trying to be mature and rational and like take a breath. That's my thing, is I'm really bad at taking a breath. And like, say we got in a fight and she like walked out. My initial reaction is text, rapid fire text. Yeah. And so I'm trying to like take a pause.
Let it end there. Yeah. For a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. I think so too.
How do you fight differently?
I think I've been less like, I knew what to say to hurt someone's feelings before. Now I know what to say and I don't say it anymore. I try not to. I try not to be condescending.
Like intentionally try to just like,
like I knew how to win.
Yes.
It's like if I could somehow, I knew what I needed to do to manipulate the person to get what I wanted. And now at least being aware of that, sometimes I still choose to do that, but I'll even like apologize for it later.
Yeah.
Cause like, like in our house, like we have this saying where I'm like, don't be a doofus, be a spy, which means we just, not that we're gathering intel, but just like we're playing it cool a little bit. Like, we don't need to like tell everybody everything about everything. That, like, I'm just like, everybody doesn't need to know everything about us. And,
of course.
You know, my husband's can be chatty. So I'm like, we don't need, like, for instance, we would hire a contractor up at the house and then he would like reveal the entire master plan of like all the things that we wanted to do. And like, you know, that person would then suggest 10 other, and I'm like, no one needs to know all that information. The person just needs to know the amount of information that they need to do to contribute their part to our plan.
Yes.
They don't need to know the plan. Like, it's none of their fucking business. Cause like, I don't know, you know, and like, maybe that's just a little bit, maybe it's a weirdness because of the robbery, but now I'm just like a little bit more selective in all of the information that I share to all the people and to strangers. Cause I'm like, no one needs to know all the things all the time.
But also like, think about like, they don't want to know.
Totally. They don't want to know.
You know, like, again, this is like completely different, but you know, when people will like send me for work, they'll send me like an email about what they want to get. And it's like, why is this 4 paragraphs? Oh, because you're telling me the backstory of why you want this tattoo. And it's like, again,
which is
like,
important, but not relevant.
It's important to you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Important to you, not relevant to me at all. Like, just let me know what I need to draw, how big, where it's going on your body, and the style that you want, and send me some reference photos. Again, like, it's like, I'm not trying to invalidate someone's like whatever. It's just like, I don't need to like all like trim the fat. Just I'm on a need to know basis.
Yes.
Like, just let me know what I need to know, and then I'll do my job. Same thing with like your contract. Like, he doesn't need to know all that. He doesn't give a shit. You're just wasting your time, like wasting your breath, right?
So I fight like that more now, where I trim the fat and I get less emotional about the extraneous shit. And I'm like, just close the fucking cupboards, put the fucking toilet seat down, where I would like make that mean more, you know, like, you don't care about me because you leave the cupboard door open and, you know, you're like blah, 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 blah. Now I'm just like, close the cupboard door. I still love you. End of discussion. Yeah. So I'm a little bit more, I think it's more fair because I'm more situational and I'm not carrying like a load of weapon baggage to like launch at this person or place or thing.
You're more selective about the things that you like bring up.
Yes.
I think that's really mature and wise.
Definitely. And okay. Who is your role model and why?
Oh, Olivia Newton-John has always been my role model.
What?
I am obsessed with Olivia Newton-John. I always have been, always will be.
Why?
You didn't know that? I don't know. I've been obsessed with her since I was like 11.
Like her
12.
vibe or what? Like everything about her?
Everything about her.
I fully expected you to say Cher.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, Cher's great, but she's like, she has her own like issues. No, Olivia Newton-John is my number one favorite person in the world, always and forever. Wanted to be her growing up, wanted her to like be my mother growing up, like love everything she stands for. She's just the best. She cares about the environment. She cares about animals. She has the voice of a fucking angel. She was Sandy in Grease. She's there's everything. She's just the best.
That's amazing. Okay. Good answer. Yeah. Okay. What do you think your superpower is?
I don't
or like
superpower.
Not like superpower, but like do you feel like you have like an innate gift?
I'm good at detective working. I'm good at like sleuthing. But that also could just come from being like a crazy bitch. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they go hand in hand for sure.
Yeah.
You don't have that, like, that skill doesn't get tuned unless something happens to you, is what I think, personally.
Like it's a trauma response or something?
100%. Like, I had a boyfriend that I lived with who was, like, having an affair. And it was, like, the one that blindsided me. And it would never fucking happen again. I was never blindsided again, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I'm good at,
definitely
like, figuring
hacked the
out,
shit
like,
out of all the subsequent people that I dated after that. Those poor bastards.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's a hard one, a superpower. Just, I can kind of like tell when someone's bullshitting me now, for the most part. But I think some of that just comes with age also.
True.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. Final answer.
Final answer.
Hey, Kate, what's another way that the squad can help support the podcast?
In addition to just listening or signing up to our Patreon, y'all can shop our online merch store, which has a variety of different sober treats, from mugs to sweatshirts to tanks and tees.
Everything.
All of our signature sayings are all over our sober merch. So visit seltzersquadshop.com and check it out.
Treat yourself to something sober while supporting the pod.
Jess, are you listening to any good books?
Right now, I'm actually listening to an Audible exclusive podcast.
Ooh, I'm listening to Blackout by Sarah Hepola.
Oh, I listened to that one back in the day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a huge proponent of Audible. I love listening to Quit Lit or really any book. But did you know, Squad, that you can use our discount code to get a free month of Audible? Meaning you get a free book if you sign up.
That's right. Just go to audibletrial.com/Seltzer Squad and get a free month on us. I actually just signed up myself using it.
What is your favorite seltzer at the moment?
I like Liquid Death.
Still on it.
I love Liquid Death. Do you ever see the Demi Lovato clip where an interview says, "What you already know? What's your favorite dish?"
What'd she say?
Oh, because I hate her or hate them, whatever. When they're like, yeah, so they're like, Demi, what's your favorite dish? And they go, my favorite dish, I would say a mug, because it feels good in your, yeah, exactly. She's like, it feels good in your hands, and it keeps, holds hot coffee. Like, they said the dumbest answer. So anyway, I like the cans of the Liquid Death. I like the way it feels in my hand. I think it's cool packaging. I like what they represent. Like, they're all about like recycling and stuff. I like that they're tall boys. They're 16 ounces. They're not too spicy. Like, I love a Topo Chico, but sometimes those are a little too spicy for me.
Like too bubbly or something.
Yeah. But Liquid Death is like perfect for me. As far as flavored seltzers go, I don't know. I don't like LaCroix. I don't. I know that I'm like odd man out, but I don't really like LaCroix. It's probably like one of my least favorites. I like Waterloo. I like Aha.
Me too. I like the watermelon.
Polar is probably the best for
and it's
flavors.
Affordable.
Yeah.
I just don't like LaCroix because it's so expensive. I feel like it's like this is soda water. People.
Oh, I don't even know the prices of it.
So but I'm cheap.
Plain seltzer is going to be Liquid Death. For flavored seltzer is going to be Polar.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer. Okay. Thanks. More than anything, before you die, you want to blank. It's a hard question.
I mean, it isn't. It's not, I guess. I don't know. I'd like to buy a house. I feel like I've done everything. Like, I don't really care. Like, if someone's like, you die tomorrow, I'm like, oh, okay, well, that sucks. But like, there's nothing that I
know.
Dying
there's nothing
to
you can
achieve.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm not like, do I want to have a kid? Yeah. But that's not like my like goals for life. Like, that's not my dream. Right. So I've traveled enough where I feel content with it. I'd still like to travel more, but yeah, it's like, okay, whatever, bye.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I think that's such a hard question. It's like more stuff. Like, I don't know. What would I like to do before I die? Like, more like shit, I guess. Live longer. But
live longer.
If like I died tomorrow, I feel like my life was great. It's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
100%. It was what it was.
I did the things.
Right.
I
think the only thing I worry about is like what happens to my pets if I die. And like if TJ and I died at the same time, I get anxiety about like what would happen to them.
It's okay. They'd be taken care of. So you can't think like that.
One can only hope,
Yeah.
What do you think are some things in your life that you need to get rid of?
Ooh.
Not in like a new year, new you kind of way, but in like a Marie Kondo, not giving you joy kind of way, maybe.
I don't I don't know. I don't really feel like there's much. I feel like I've given away the drinking. And that was like something that wasn't serving me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything's fine. I don't think that there's anything bad. I don't think there's anything holding me back from anything. I would give up living in the city, but I don't think that's holding me back.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That's a good answer.
You? What about you?
I would definitely get rid of, if I could like snap my fingers and it was gone and fixed or healed or whatever, I would get rid of vaping.
Fair. Okay.
And then I don't think there's a whole lot else. Like, there used to be some stuff I had that would like make me feel like a little bit ashamed that I still had it, but I slowly like, you know, I don't buy a lot, but I upgrade over time. So I feel like I've kind of replaced the things that.
Yeah.
I remember when we first moved into this apartment, like I was sort of ashamed of like the ruin that it was in, but now I'm like proud of obviously what we've done. And I remember even like we got neighbors on one side of our house, and the backyard was the last thing that we fixed here, and it was like a trash hole for like 3.5 years. And I remember it like made me feel really bad about myself. Like these people must like look off their balconies into this trash pit and think like, who the fuck are these, you know, people living? And so just stuff like that. But it was like a project that, you know, needed a considerable, we had to buy a fence, we had to buy concrete, like it was a considerable budget project. So we had to wait a while until we could afford to do it. And then once you do it, it makes you feel so amazing. Good. So things I would get rid of, not a whole lot. I feel like I have some things that are a little excessive that I could get rid of. Like you know, go ahead. I don't know if I need like 2 computers and a laptop. I mean, sorry, an iPad. Like that feels like that's a lot of devices, you know? I have a lot of cameras. I have a lot of camera equipment. Like there are some things that I think
you're a photographer.
Right. But like there are some things in my life that have like shifted a little bit. And so I feel like there's some area where like I own 5 printers. Sweet. It's like
okay, that's a little excessive. I will give you that. That's a little excessive. Put that shit on Facebook.
I know. I'm going to. I just didn't. I'm like we're focusing on being bored right now. So
yes, that's fair. That's
all we're doing.
I've been doing that too, though. Like if I buy something, I like sell something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
I would say that's definitely something that you got rid of is like your shopping. Because you used to like where I shopped, I think as much as you did, you bought more than I did. Where I would like fill my cart and then I would chicken out and you would like literally buy the things. And I was like, God, that's badass. Like it's like inspiring kind of because I deny myself so many pleasures sometimes. And you, I think, overindulge at times. Like, we both
I feel like there needs to be a healthy
balance.
medium.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should just treat yourself if you want something, yes.
Yes.
But also now what I do more of like if I'm still thinking about it, okay, then I'll buy it. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah, I'm much, much better. And in the beginning, that's what I needed to do though. That was my way of just being sober and dealing with like my newfound time and how to fill it and what to do with my money. And I don't regret any of that. I don't regret spending as much as I did. It's fine. I could have done without my fucking massage chair. But
True.
Other than that, like that's just what helped me cope at the time. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna like punish myself for that. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't like give the same advice as I used to. Like, fuck it, just do it. Fuck it, just do it. I think that was just me kind of giving myself permission. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was my Vespa purchase for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I back that,
I
man.
mean, yeah. Like, I think I use my Vespa a little bit more than you use your massage chair. There's
a little bit
different
more
functionality
I
going on
never
there.
Use this
but
thing.
I think the principle is the same. Is it's like a beacon of, I deserve this. I'm going to get it.
Yes.
I don't care what anybody, has to say about it. And I think that is very important.
We all need to do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The last questions. I know you've answered them a million times, but what's a hot take? How do you make friends in sobriety?
Oh, God.
Give me a short hot take.
The internet.
Good answer.
The internet. honestly. Like short answer, long answer, the internet, Instagram, find sober pages, Facebook, find sober pages. You could go to meetings and meet people that way. There's like apps now on meeting other sober people. There's so many sober apps now, that were not out through even just 2.5 years ago.
That we probably don't even know about. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, that's different than meeting people like out and about. Sure. But I mean, that's just, you're sober now. So life looks different than being at bars and meeting people. So you just have to do things differently. It's just like minor, like little adjustments. And I know like Bumble has Bumble Friend.
Yes.
There's like a Bumble just for making friends. I think you just need to be a little patient and don't expect friends to come overnight. Like right now, I'm kind of in that mindset again for like finding sober friends. Because now that I moved to Brooklyn and then we had the pandemic, and even I was going to say all my friends are in Jersey City, but they're not anymore. It's like 3 people, 3 of my friends are still in Jersey City. Everyone else has moved to like Jersey proper or whatever. So it's not like, say 5 years ago, I could literally pick up my phone at like 6 o'clock and text, I don't know, up to like 10 people and be like, hey, you want to go grab dinner? Okay, see you in like 10 minutes. Yeah. That's not my life anymore. And it's sad because I miss the convenience of that and the proximity of my friends. But that's just like not how it is anymore. Everyone's growing, everyone's moving, everyone's just doing different things. So I also feel like I have friends, but I don't have too many people that I could be like, hey, do you want to go get dinner in like a half hour? Because we're like, there's greater distances and stuff like that. So I'm also would like to have some more friends
in BK.
But yeah, like more close to me. Yeah, whatever. But it just sucks. But I also don't care enough to like put in the work. So
not right now.
I'm not gonna like.
Not right now. It's just on the. It's on the radar. Okay,
it's on the radar. Welcoming new friends.
Yes,
but not in dire need of any because I still have a lot of good friends. It would just be nice to like have someone that could be like, hey, you want to like go grab dinner right now?
Yeah.
But
I would agree with
no
that.
big deal. I would say the internet.
What are some tools or resources that you'd like to share with the squad? They don't have to be sobriety related because we always share our resources, but have you found anything cool lately that you, or even like a life hack?
I thought the last question was the last question,
sorry.
Kate.
I won't ask you for a low light because we share enough of those. This will be the last one.
I don't actually think I have an answer for this. Tools, just like tools in general. I mean, y'all all know that I swear by therapy. I don't know if it's a tool, but yeah, I guess it's a tool. Being able to set up boundaries. And I don't know if this is like a tool, but something that I'm struggling with currently / not struggling, but like focusing on is learning how to respect like others, like my partner, for example. It's just like use her, respecting her wishes and stuff, but while still respecting my own and not like dismissing my beliefs or feelings or whatever to appease somebody else. So finding that healthy balance of, well, just compromise, I guess. Like you don't want to compromise your beliefs and stuff, but you still want to be respectful. So that's where I'm kind of at right now, at least in like my relationship, is like, I want to be able, I don't want to give up all of my beliefs and stuff for somebody. But I also want to be respectful and have that other person feel heard and all that kind of stuff. So I guess it just kind of basically comes back down to being self-aware and putting yourself
nonviolent communication.
Nonviolent communication.
I am reading a book called it's the same person who wrote Nonviolent Communication. They wrote a book about how to handle feedback or giving and getting feedback.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's been very eye-opening, and it talks about like the motivation behind like what you're trying to get when you're receiving feedback versus somebody trying to give it. And so it just kind of walks through like all the angles of giving
have to check that one
and
out.
receiving feedback. And I believe it's by the same people. It has like a similar book cover. So
Okay.
I did also get nonviolent communication, and I want to dive into it. But the feedback one, I feel like I have a lot of feelings about receiving feedback. So I had to kind of like start there. Because
nonviolent communication also, it's a little bit tedious in the beginning of the book. It takes like a minute to like, I read it one time and then I tried reading again 2 other times. And I'm like, this is so boring. And I like put it down. I need to get past the repetitive like nature of like the first few pages, whatever. I get why he's doing that. Or I think it's a dude. Yeah. So it's always like I bought the book because I wanted to be able to have it on my bookshelf. If I ever like, I'm like, I just need to like reference this because it's really good.
To tune up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Jessica Valentine, thank you for sitting through my interview.
You. This has been a pleasure.
Where can people find you on TikTok?
Oh, you can find me on TikTok at Jes Valentine Tattoos. That's with Jes with 1 S. You can also find me on Instagram at the same thing, at Jes Valentine Tattoos. I have a podcast called Seltzer Squad, which you can find at seltzersquad.com. Yeah, and you can find me online at jvtattoo.com. But that's only going to help you if you want to make an appointment with me for next year.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for your time. And until we meet again, be
nice to yourself.
Don't forget.
Hangovers suck.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Every review helps other listeners find us. Music by Dead Go West. Art by Kate Sander. For show notes and resources, check out seltzersquad.com.